Christian. How's the process going for you so far?
It's been great. It's been great so far. Just taking it all in. It's obviously a new experience for me. Just loving every second of it.
I think in the past you've compared your game to Mike Evans a little bit. Can you talk about that? Expound on that comparison a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean he's definitely a little bit bigger than me. I'm more of a lean receiver. I mean he's just a wide receiver that I've always enjoyed watching. Him and Julio Jones are just two wide receivers that I've always looked up to. Just big receivers, utilize their size and their speed to be dominant at the next level. So I mean it's just obviously taking little things, little bits and pieces from each one of them. Obviously being a little bit bigger myself. I mean yeah, they're just two guys I've definitely always looked up to.
You're a Tampa native, so did you grow up like a Bucks fan? Is that what kind of?
I did not grow up a Bucks fan, but I mean I definitely had players on a bunch of different teams that I enjoyed watching.
Right. What team did you grow up cheering for?
I was a Steelers fan growing up.
I'm a Pittsburgh guy, so I can identify with that for sure.
Yes, sir.
What area of your game do you feel like right now that you feel like can develop maybe the most in terms of trying to impress NFL teams?
Yeah, I mean, two points I've really been trying to just grow and continue to get better at throughout this process, and even throughout college as well. Has always just been my speed at the top of my routes. Just being able to use. I mean, I'm a fast guy vertically, and just being able to incorporate that into the intermediate routes as well. And then obviously catching is something I'm always trying to improve on as well. Just eliminating focus and concentration drops, and just being able to make plays.
What was the Senior Bowl experience like for you?
It was amazing. I mean, I went into the Senior Bowl with a positive mindset and wanted to separate myself and prove that I'm one of the best in the country. And I went into it, embraced it all, and I felt like I proved that.
Christian, sticking with the Senior Bowl, you really popped out in the practices. What are some of the things that the coaches taught you that are adding into your game now, or using to improve whatever it is that you're doing?
I mean, it's really limited time in terms of receiving and really utilizing coaching points at the Senior Bowl. They really kind of just let us go out there and do what we do, and they'll tell us stuff every now and then. And one thing for me one thing that I know that I took in was releases on the goal line. I mean, we got a bunch of reps in goal line one-on-ones, and just being able to work on my release a little bit more and hear the coaching tips from the coaches. Just utilizing my size and my quickness to be able to move the DB off the line and create space in the goal line was something that I was definitely looking at in the Senior Bowl.
Hey Christian, your former teammate Trey Lance was number 3 overall pick last year. Have you had a chance to speak with Trey as you're going through the pre-draft process this year?
I haven't talked to him specifically about my process, but I definitely talked to him, throughout his process. And obviously, we're good friends, so we keep in touch as well. But I mean, aside from that, I haven't asked him too many questions. I kind of just been wanting to go about this process and experience everything for myself.
So, from your experience with him as a teammate, how would you describe Trey Lance as a leader?
As a leader, I mean, I just describe Trey Lance as that guy. I mean, he's a dude in everything that he does on and off the field. I mean, he's a student of the game. Everything he does is him trying to get better at being a man and being a football player. So I mean, Trey Lance is a dude.
Christian, can you talk about your mentality as a run blocker? It was one thing you noticed on tape is you pancake guys, you're embracing that run first mentality. Can you talk about your run blocking?
Yeah, no, I mean, at North Dakota State, obviously we run the football a lot, and that's what helps us win games. So I mean, being a wide receiver, that's something that you have to embrace really early. I mean, I think that's something that I learned to enjoy really early. So I mean, whether I'm catching 10 balls a game or if I'm getting 10 good blocks a game. I mean, it was all the same to me in the end. Whatever I can do to help my team win, and blocking was a big part of that.
Christian, you mentioned that North Dakota State ran the ball a lot. Did you ever think about going somewhere that maybe threw more or leaving or anything like that, or were you all in on the program?
No, I mean, I was all in. I knew that North Dakota State wasn't going to change their program for me. When I got there, before I committed there, I knew what North Dakota State was about. I went there to win championships, and I did just that. I wasn't worried about catching 100 balls a year. I was worried about winning a ring a year. So.
And when you had the opportunities, you made the most of them. Looking at your average yards per catch, I think you had 59 plays of 20 yards or more. Is it just your speed that allows you to make plays like that?
I mean, I'd say it's a combination of everything. I mean, within our offense, obviously, running the ball a lot opens up that play action pass. and obviously a lot of our play action pass was deep shots. And I mean, I was able to, obviously utilize the tools that I brought and utilize our game plan to get open and make plays after when I had the ball in my hands.
Are you going to be doing everything at the combine in terms of workouts?
As of right now.
When you saw Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase hook up as pros, and they had that instant chemistry, does your mind wander to if that could be replicated with Trey Lance in the pros and you?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely something to think about. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of teams that I could go to, and I'll be grateful for any opportunity. But I mean, it would definitely be a fun experience, something that I think we would excel together. I mean, it's crossed my mind, and I would enjoy playing with Trey for sure. Obviously.
Have you met with the 49ers?
I have.
What do you anticipate just the biggest challenges, Christian? I'm sure you've answered this question 10 times, but coming from the FCS level and into the NFL, what do you anticipate the biggest challenges in making that jump there?
I think the biggest challenge, regardless if you're coming from the FBS or FCS, is just being able to continually separate yourself. And regardless of if you were, playing for Alabama or if you were playing for North Dakota State, you got to separate yourself from everyone else at the highest level possible. So I mean, just the biggest challenge going forward is to continue to be able to separate myself and prove that I'm one of the best and be able to hold my spot going forward.
What separates you?
I'd say everything about me, honestly, my size, my speed, my versatility, being able to do it all. I don't think there's a lot of guys that have the same skill set that I have, and I'm going to continue to prove that and continue to even expand on the things that I bring to the table and create value for myself and do everything.
You said you went to North Dakota State to win championships. Were you not highly recruited to bigger schools?
I was not.
Why? Where'd you come from? Why were you?
I mean, I'd assume I was a late bloomer in high school. I didn't really shoot up until my junior year of high school. I went from 5'9", 140 to 6'1", 160 in the matter of months. So I mean, I was a late bloomer. I just didn't really get that interest early from any Power 5 schools, big schools. And North Dakota State came in, and they were one of the first schools that was talking to me. And I fell in love with the program early. They fell in love with me, and I was 100% committed to them.
Where are you from?
Tampa, Florida.
You went 5'9" to 6'1" in a few months?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You brought up the unique skill set. So who do you look at on tape and say, like, I see myself in this game, and this is how I improve, I want to do this?
Yeah, no, I mean, I like I was saying earlier, Mike Evans, Julio Jones, the bigger receivers in the league. I definitely think that my skill set in itself is unique to me. So I'm trying to be my own receiver. All in all, but I mean, there's definitely bits and pieces that I've taken from Mike Evans and Julio Jones, the bigger receivers in the league who are able to utilize their size and their speed to be dominant in the league.
Did you learn anything about your game at the Senior Bowl going against bigger school players?
I mean, I definitely did. I feel like it's a continual, learning process, regardless of the level you're playing at. I definitely, obviously, still knew there was things that I could continue to improve upon and continue to add to my game. And I mean, that's something I'll continue to do even with the opportunity I get going forward.
Did you feel you competed well there?
Yes, I did. I feel like I made the most of the opportunity at the Senior Bowl.
Last one.
I have.
Was that the Senior Bowl or here?
Both.
Guys, like a follow-up to that question. Have you spoken with the Pittsburgh Steelers here at here at the combine? Or do you anticipate speaking with them in a formal meeting?
I anticipate that I would speak with them. I haven't spoke with them yet here at the combine, but I anticipate that I will.
Thank you.